Hey folks, Kyle Keo here with a new video for you. In the first half of this video, I'm going to cover the training for my upcoming second week of preparation for Royal Unity 8. And this is coming off of my first real training week, coming off of my last meet. And I'm going to continue some of the goals and objectives that I set out for myself for that first week. I'm going to continue my accumulation phase. I'm going to gradually increase the number of bar lifts, anywhere from 10 to 30%. Depending upon the lift for this particular week. Slowly increase intensity and continue to focus on developing work capacity and strengthening weaknesses through general specific movements. That was kind of clumsily worded. Through chosen general specific movements, let me put it that way. Ones that I've chosen specifically to help me address certain weaknesses. Again, everything's capped in an RPE 6. That's true for squat, bench, and deadlift. For the only of the three in which I'm doing something that really isn't all that close to the competition movement, that's the bench press, and that's because I'm continuing to work on recovering from a pec injury that I suffered a few weeks out from my last meet. Otherwise, linear progression for all three of the movements, again, staying under that low exertion cap. I'll do volume as it allows, so these volume numbers, the total number of bar lifts that I'm listing here, are all subject to change based on how I feel. But so far, this week, the training's been going really well, and I've been feeling good, and I'm starting to click with all my lifts again, which is nice, because it feels like I'm shaking some of the rust off now after a long waiting period after my last meet. So anyway, that's the basics for week 2. Week 1 was very successful. A few things that I can continue to work on and do better with, but stuck to the script, had a successful week, and I'm going to try and build off of that and have a successful week too. As long as I hit my objectives for every single week and train correctly and train intelligently, I'll have a very good meet in February, and so I'm really making that the focus. The actual training footage that I have for today is just footage taken over the last few days of last week's session. Went in for my second floor press session and did 205 for 4 sets of 10, you're seeing 2 sets of 10 here. 205 is a pretty easy set of 10 for me. It's supposed to be a low exertion set. I can tell that I haven't worked with a narrow grip in a while. I'm working with my pinkies on the rings, and my competition style is actually index fingers on the rings. So imagine moving your hands in about 2 inches on each side, and that's about what I'm experiencing on these. So they definitely feel harder. It feels like I don't have the same push in my triceps, because I haven't really developed that closer grip in a while. But the good news is I was able to do them and do them pain-free. Pec's feeling good and is progressively getting better. I'm probably a little ways from getting back on the bench, but my goal is to have another successful week for week 2, and then by week 3, maybe be able to go in and do some sort of bench pressing, even if it's to either a board or to a pad or something like that. I'd like to get back on the bench for week 3, but we'll see how I feel. Did rowing for the first time in forever. Just did 185 for 3 sets of 10 rather. Did Penlay rows, and I'm going to continue doing those twice a week. Linear progression. This week it's 195. Already did my first session, and I will do that for as long as it's sustainable. My goal for this accumulation phase is to reduce the amount of accessory movements that I am doing to the absolute bare essentials and focus on good linear progression. I'm only doing a few of them. I'm doing Penlay rows, I'm doing face pulls, I'm doing glute ham raises, I'm doing a little bit of ab work, but I'm really not programming the ab work or the core work rather that I'm doing. And I'm doing Dimmel deadlifts, and those are really the only movements that I'm doing. And I am linearly progressing through all of them, and my goal is by the end of this accumulation phase to have really developed each of those accessory movements. So I'm looking to get stronger on all of them and to see measurable results. Rather than try and do a lot of things and get nowhere with everything, I'm going to try and specialize on just a few movements that I think will help. Some are general movements that I feel like I need to do in order to stay healthy, and some are movements for specific weaknesses. But my goal is to see progress on all of those. You saw 2 sets of squatting. I actually did 6 sets of 10. That was just with 260 pounds. Felt heavy enough. Of the 3 lifts, I can tell that my squat is at the most regressed rate right now. The squatting does not feel super strong, but it hasn't in a little while, especially without the wraps. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this accumulation phase. I've been really sore after really just squatting 145 and then 260 on this session, so I will acclimate to it soon, and hopefully everything starts feeling a little better. Still easy sets, but I definitely took the weight down to make sure that I followed my script for week 1. Finished the week with 315 for 5 sets of 8 pause deadlifts. Those felt super easy, really surprised. We will be, I think, pretty aggressive with the progression, but we'll still keep the exertion low. So excited for week 2. Week 1 was a good one. Keep checking in. I will have more videos for you very soon.